this episode of SirgoCast. My guest this week is R.C. Herrmann. We discuss gun control, beer drinking, and a lot more. Stick around.
That's fine.
Alright, we're rolling.
Alright, we'll start over.
We'll start over. We're good. Well, let's start over with sorry, I didn't press capture.
No, you're good.
This damn thing. Let's start with the beer in the cooler, man. I really want to go over that.
That's fine.
I think people need to hear about this. So we just talked about how your family religiously has to have beer that is from a cooler with ice in it. Nothing in the fridge. I think your dad might actually shoot you if you tried to give him a beer out of a fridge.
Yeah, if it sits in the cooler too long and the ice has melted and it goes into the fridge, it basically just stays there unless someone goes into the fridge and gets it out of there on purpose.
So that's some new information.
But he does not offer beer to any of his friends and or people who are, I guess, guests at the house, beer out of the fridge. It has to be out of the cooler.
God. And we did talk about how much money I'll spend a year on this. It intrigues me because I really thought you were spending upwards of like $20,000-$30,000 a year. No, I really thought y'all was spending like $2,000 a year on ice. But you're saying y'all actually do have some free sources of ice.
Yep. Where we buy beer, they have free ice, and at the auction barn we have free ice as well. Well, I guess it's not free. We pay for...
You're paying for electricity.
Yeah.
And water.
Yeah, but
you're not paying $3 for 10 pounds.
Yeah. Which, by the way, they only had 8 or 20 pounds. So
8?
They had 8 pounds or 20 pounds at the convenience store when I just went to it.
That's not even a real ice denomination. They're just jipping you 2 pounds on purpose.
Well, they're making you want to buy the 20 pounds.
Okay. It's like $2.99 for 8 pounds or $3 for 20.
Yep.
I got you. So we also mentioned stupid capture on the computer. Totally forgot to hit the button. We also mentioned about your family's business. Y'all have an auction barn in Caldwell. I told you I was wearing my Caldwell livestock hat the last podcast. I know it's a pain in the ass, but explain it a little bit again, what y'all are doing and what your part is in it.
Yeah, so I guess when I was 18, the Herrmanns bought the auction barn, and just the Herrmanns own it now, and so that's almost 10 years. And I don't work there every day. Dad and Hank run and do that. I help out Tuesday evenings. The sales are on Wednesday, so I help them check in cattle or haul cattle if they need to, or I'll run and do errands, whatever they need me to do. And we also have special sales on the weekends that tend to help out at. Don't always want to because they usually are during hunting season.
Right.
And are right after spring break. Like
no one should be required to work during hunting season.
I know. And or go to weddings.
Yeah.
Or anything.
If your
else.
wedding is during hunting season, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah. That's not cool.
So you have a small stake in the auction barn.
Yes.
Silent partner type deal. You were just explaining before we started recording how much you enjoy it. I mean,
yeah. So I learning stuff all the time from Hank and Dad, and the older I get, the more questions I get from people I know in the community, and I'd like to be able to answer those questions. And with that, I would like to learn more. I'm not around it all the time, so I don't keep up on it like my normal job. But yeah, I also help out. We try to do some type of capital improvements on the facility every year, so they ask for my input on that, or get bids, or recommendations and things like that. Hank and Dad aren't very mechanically inclined, or Maintenance is not on their, I guess, to-do list, and I don't know. So I help out where sometimes they may lack a little bit.
I got you. So you, whenever you're working an auction, you notice something's out of line, you try to help point it out and what to do to actually assist with fixing it.
Yeah. So I'm there for whatever they need. If they need me to fill in somewhere or run and pick up something, I'll do it.
Great.
You worked there for a little bit, or
yeah? I mean, every once in a while
times.
when I'm in town, I try to open a squeeze chute or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it.
One of your arms gets sore.
Yeah. So, have you ever been injured working at the auction barn?
Man, no, not necessarily, but I remember very young when I first started helping out there. That's when Dad, Jerry Armstrong, and John Malazzo owned it. There was a guy named Lloyd that worked there, and there was, I believe it was on a Tuesday night, we were in the alley, and there was a downed cow, and it was a horned cow. And, I was young and quick back then, so I figured I would, kind of give her a jab and get her to get up and run past her and get up on a fence, and she almost gored me in the stomach with her horn, which, looking back now, is very scary. It's pretty close, but I guess it was a good learning lesson. Never trust an animal.
No, never trust an animal.
But no, not seriously hurt. And I've never really witnessed anybody get seriously hurt. I know there's a lot of times gates will swing on people and hurt their fingers or kind of get them in a bind. But for the most part, as long as you're aware of your surroundings, it's pretty safe.
Gotcha. Well, I did want to go into your actual degree from A&M. What did you major in?
So, majored in university studies in the College of Architecture. So you get a concentration with that degree. My concentration was construction. Then you also get 2 minors. First minor was business, and the other minor was urban and regional planning.
Gotcha.
Still not sure what all urban and regional planning is, but that's one of my minors.
I actually have a buddy, Parth, whose girlfriend is a regional planner for Houston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know what she does exactly, but it sounds complicated.
Yeah.
So what is your job today? You got this degree. Did it put you in the job you wanted?
Yeah, I wanted to work in construction. Not sure what construction. When I first got out, sent my resume to basically oil field type job, pipelining, and had an interview with that. And then also your dad helped me get on with D.R. Horton. And then after about a year of that, got an opportunity to move back home, which is rare to move back home and have a good job. So went ahead and jumped on that because I did want to eventually move back home, or at least to the area. And so I work for C&H Building Construction. It's owned by Brian Chapman and his wife. And basically I help him stay organized, and we schedule jobs, bid jobs, and we do stuff in-state, out-of-state, locally. So I guess it's helped me get a job. The people I know have helped me get a job. But I guess college more or less has helped me to problem solve and get things done, and that has helped me with my job.
Right. The process of college helped you get through it.
Yep.
That makes sense. So Brian has a nickname, right?
Yeah, his nickname's Twiggy.
How did he get that nickname?
Don't know.
I hear that all the time. Y'all are like, "Oh yeah, Twiggy's over here." I'm like, "Who's Twiggy?" "Oh, that's my boss." "Oh, okay."
Yep, that's him.
That's great. I wish I had a nickname. No one ever gave me one other than asshole. That's the oil field, though.
Yep, this is true.
So y'all are doing a lot of work in North Dakota, right?
Yeah, we've done work in North Dakota, and we're in the process of bidding 2 jobs in North Dakota.
Okay.
One of which I'm pretty sure we got it. The other one we probably just started bidding on it last week.
Great. So business is booming.
Yeah, no, it's good. Got stuff going on North Dakota, out in West Texas, Pecos area, Orla. Stuff going on. Supposed to hit next week in Alabama.
Wow.
Stuff locally in Caldwell area. We're finishing up a airport hangar at Easterwood in College Station. We've got a lawyer's office we're building in Caldwell. So yeah, pretty busy. We do a little bit of everything.
That's awesome. So for people that don't know, including myself, what exactly is your job role? What do you do day to day to make Twiggy's life easier?
Come in. We've got a crew that comes to the shop every day. I help get them going.
Now, what do you mean by get them going?
Get them going.
Just like a pre-job safety meeting and...
No, not necessarily a safety meeting. Just basically from day to day they might, like today they were at Western Gas in Belleville. So they needed, materials out there, make sure they have materials and they can keep busy and stay busy. They're not standing around twiddling their thumbs.
Okay, so you're just ensuring that everything's on location that you need.
Yes.
Okay.
So how about with that? Also help in the bidding process. Like for instance in West Texas, we got a job we're about to we'll probably start this summer in Plains. So we've been looking for plumbers out there, electricians. So basically call and try to ask for bids and ask for references and get hotel prices and things like that and try to figure out the cost of the job. And then also here locally I help run the job, supervise, and then also meeting with customers, looking at what they want to build or what they want to do, go out and look at jobs and also scheduling, which is near impossible with construction because one phone call can change that completely.
Yep.
But for the most part, try to get some type of schedule down. Try to stay organized.
That sounds very similar to my job. It's project management.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yep.
Just make sure everybody's there, everyone's safe, and things are going according to plan. And if not, how do we get back on plan?
Yeah. Whatever they need, you try to get it there to where they can continue to work and progress with the job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how are you liking this work? Is it appealing to your personality, or do you feel like you'd be better towards a more of a managerial role than you're already in, or a down and dirty details, or is this perfect?
I think it's pretty much perfect because it's a little bit of both. I'm still in front of a computer, checking emails, getting bids, submitting bids, putting together schedules. But at the same time, I get to go out into the field, check on the progress of the jobs, hope they're running smooth, and try to make sure they're running smooth. So it's 50-50 balance. So I enjoy it.
That's awesome. Not many people can say that they enjoy what they do.
Yeah, and I've got an awesome boss. So I mean,
You don't have to suck up to him.
yeah, no, I'm not. No, it's hey, it's Thursday. Hey, I'm gonna go check on a job, and I show up to the golf course, and then he shows up right behind me. So
That's great. That's the boss you want.
or he's already out there, then I show up and he's out there. I've got to explain what I'm working on.
Oh, we were looking at those trees over there. We're gonna chop them down and make wood out of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So, is there any design work that you do,
I mean,
or do you leave that to somebody else?
yeah, we typically sub that out. We might scratch something out on a napkin or back of a beer box, but for the most part, we send that to a draftsman.
Okay.
And they'll draft it up, or the customer will have something done, and then we'll just go off of it.
Neat.
We try to stay out of that because, I mean, in the end, it's the customer what they want. You
Right.
know, it's not necessarily what I want. So.
I got you. So, let's say 30 years from now, you got enough money to retire. What are you going to do? What's your dream job or dream occupation for the rest of your life? Have you thought that far? You old enough to think that far?
No. Probably just to be retired, play golf when it's golfing weather, and hunt when it's hunting season.
I got you.
And go to different places hunting.
Where do you want to go?
Where do I want to go? I'd still like to kill all the big game animals in North America, and then I'd like to go beyond that, maybe Africa.
Yep.
But North America, I'd like to
Elk, mule deer.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm on the same page with you. So that kind of brings me to hunting. We're both big avid hunters. What's your favorite thing to do? I mean, we'll take it from Texas hunting. Anybody that's familiar with Texas hunting would know that the top things to hunt are dove, quail, turkey for birds, and then you got mule deer, you got aoudad in the mountains, you got whitetail, you got nilgai in South Texas, and then you got predators.
Yeah.
So what's your top? What do you like to do? I mean, you probably haven't done all of them.
As far as hunting, I really enjoy duck hunting, and I enjoy deer hunting as well. I think I enjoy the management aspect of the deer hunting more, just because, I mean, when the ducks come in, basically,
Yeah, you get
shoot
what, yeah, you get what you get.
So deer hunting's a lot more, I guess, more patient, which is tough for me.
Yeah. It's a life lesson there. I don't think a lot of people recognize the patience that goes into hunting.
Yeah.
And specifically deer hunting on a place that you've been watching them grow up at. Mm-hmm. When you've been sitting there, you're in the stand, you say, wow, that deer is going to be good next year. And then you say the same thing the next 3-4 years in a row, and you're like, that thing is old, his legs are spread out, he can barely walk, it's time to take him.
Yeah. It's it's hard, but it pays off in the end.
Yeah. It feels really good to take a deer that doesn't have any teeth left, you know?
Yeah.
A deer that you know is
Maxed
not going to
out.
make it through the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It's less rewarding to take a deer that you're like, oh, crap, Hank would have shot this.
Oh, no, not necessarily. But yeah, that, and also, I mean, you've got neighbors, and a lot of people, well, you know, well, if I didn't shoot it, my neighbor would.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
the way to look at it.
That's not absolutely correct. Yeah,
No.
It's up to you. That deer's in front of you. It might not ever just step into the neighbors.
Yeah.
So you can only do so much you can do with your own land, especially if it's low fenced. But, and I think as people continue to learn about management and see the improvements of deer over the past 20 years,
Yep.
they will continue to, pass those younger, less mature deer and hopefully harvest a mature deer.
Right.
And get the enjoyment out of it.
I don't know. Have you encountered too many anti-hunters? Probably not out here.
No.
I've encountered
really.
a couple, and if you're able to show them the difference between the deer in South Texas, or not South Texas, but if you're able to show them the difference in deer that are around a lake in Austin that are never hunted or culled or anything, and a deer that's in Garden City, Texas, where everyone's culling them and making sure that they're the biggest and best deer, usually they come around. Usually they see the difference between a proper management program and, oh wow, these deer are sick and nothing but skin and bones.
Yeah. And they shouldn't be eating your flowers.
Right.
I mean, that's overpopulation.
Yeah. If they're eating your flowers, there's something pretty wrong going on.
Because
they're
for the
starving
most part,
to death.
Yeah, and for the most part, deer are not. They're not tame animals. They're not. They don't like humans. They don't like the scent of humans and things humans associate with.
Yeah, if they're close to you, there's some serious starvation going on.
Yeah. But those people who are anti-hunters, after those deer start eating their flower bed.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, they're putting deer way out there that they bought at Tractor Supply, trying to get rid of them.
Right. They're done with it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's hunting is it's a great thing that we have a privilege to do. I'm really happy that we have this privilege, but at the same time, it kind of sucks being in Texas because we don't have any public land to hunt.
Yeah.
There may be a little bit in West Texas to hunt, but I don't think there's any out here.
Yeah, I don't know the total acreage, but it's not much. And it's kind of, I've tried to read up on it a couple times, and it's hard to understand the rules and regulations of when you can go and can't go, and what you can have out there and can't. You got to take down your stands every night, no feeders, no anything, which is a challenge. But at the same time, a lot of people don't have time for that.
Right.
But also, I've heard stories of 30 years ago, any landowner would let anybody come hunting. Yeah, for sure. But over the years, people have abused that, just like with fishing or anything else. They say, okay, I invite Sam to come out here. Sam, you can come out here. Here's my gate combination. The next thing you know, Sam brings his buddy, and his buddy brings his buddy, and they all have the combination. They come out there, and they leave beer cans there and catch fish and don't release them.
Trash the place.
So there's been a lot of landowners who have, told good people, no, I don't want you hunting out here, or I don't want you fishing out here, and it's it's definitely made it hard for Texas. Yeah. And it's hard to, I don't know what a lease costs, but anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 by the time it's said and done. By the time you lease it, go out there ever so often, fill up the feeders, buy a deer stand.
I mean, in West Texas, the lease that I was on, we had 8 sections, so it was massive. It was $3,000 per person. There was 5 of us, and that does not include your deer stands, your feeders, any of that stuff. And
fuel.
Yeah, fuel. I mean, you got to drive 45 minutes out there, and that wouldn't be such a big deal, but you start looking at people that are up north or even in Colorado, they can just, for the price of fuel, go out to the middle of the wilderness and find wildlife because it's so dense.
Yeah.
In West Texas, we got shrubs, so the wildlife's spread out.
Yeah.
It's a different hunting game, but it's a fun one.
When they go hunting.
Right.
They don't go, well, I got to fix the feeder and I've got to adjust my deer blind.
Exactly. They can focus.
Yeah, that's when they go to hunt, they go to hunt.
Which I envy them.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Hunting under a feeder's fun, but I found myself looking at the deer like pets. I think you probably do this too, but it's like what we were talking about earlier. You're basically raising these deer until they're mature. You're just watching them for years and years and years. And there's a great, oh my God, you got to find this documentary, RC. There's a documentary from PBS where this guy lives with mule deer, and over the years he gets familiar enough with them where they actually let him become part of the herd. And he raises these mule deer, they're family to him, and these hunters come out and kill one of them, and they're like, oh my God, do you know how old this deer is? This is the biggest deer we've ever seen. And he's like, yeah, I actually collected his sheds from every year. He's exactly 6 years old. And you got to see this documentary. But
gotcha.
That's kind of, I don't feel that closely to the deer, but I do feel whenever I'm watching them under a feeder, like, hey, these are more pets than they are game at this point.
Yeah, but our feeders are more or less a management tool.
They really are. That's their population control is what we use them for.
Yeah.
Most states don't have that opportunity. We do. We can regulate our deer and make sure that the population's healthy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, but it does take a little bit away from the hunting experience, I feel like.
Yeah. That's why I've gotten into bow hunting.
Yes, bow hunting. Even if you're bow hunting over a feeder, it's a different game.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're perfect during bow hunting. Any little slight change in that deer's behavior and they're gone.
Or the wind or anything else. Yeah.
They sniff you, doesn't matter. They're gone. I love bow hunting now. I'm glad I got into it.
Yeah, no. It's fun. It's something to do. It's something to... I like hunting because... I take my phone to the deer stand, but for the most part, you can watch the sunrise, watch the sunset, reflect on...
everything.
Yeah.
Disconnect.
Yeah. And that's what I enjoy about it. And I do, going back to deer hunting, I heard, what kind of hunting I like. I like the management aspect of whitetail deer hunting. Filling up the protein feeders, getting things ready for deer season, and just as the season goes on, being able to see the deer that you've got on trail cameras and see them in person, or watch someone shoot a deer, or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun. Would you mind grabbing me a beer?
Yeah.
Sorry for anybody that's listening and they can just freaking hear coolers opening and closing the whole time. We're getting a little drunk. This is the first night I'm off in about 2.5 months. Yeah, part of the fun is really taking new people hunting. I don't know if you do this often, but my deer lease in Midland, I took a lot of people hunting that had never been before, and I never had one person have a negative experience. They loved the shit out of it.
Yeah, no, it's up to us hunters to do that and to get new people exposed to hunting and what actually goes on versus what's maybe perceived, the bad hunting stuff. Or
people think we're out there just slaughtering animals for no reason, but really, there's a lot that goes into it. We don't even have enough time to talk about everything that goes into that, but it's a bonding with nature that most people don't have.
Yep.
So I kind of wanted to... You're probably wondering why this stupid-looking AR's on the table. I kind of wanted to go over the gun control things that are popping up in the news with you. A lot of bad shit has happened recently. We can go way back, but let's go back to Las Vegas. At that Jason Aldean concert, those poor people that got shot by that fucking crazy asshole with a bump stock.
Yeah.
Just shooting over the crowd. And recently there was those kids at that school that got shot up. Yeah, in Florida. And, there doesn't seem to be an end to it. I'm curious what your views on gun control are. I'm starting to be swayed differently than I used to be.
Yeah.
When I was 18, I thought there should be no regulation on firearms whatsoever. Zero. I'm curious if you've thought any differently recently.
A little bit. I still believe in the Second Amendment, but so, well, I guess with the changes, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know some people are talking about going up to 21 years old to purchase a firearm, which I seem to agree with. But at the same time, if you're 18 and you're able to go sacrifice your life for this country, you should probably be able to purchase a firearm.
Right.
And probably be able to drink a beer too.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, I know when I was 18, how unstable I guess I was. I mean,
Everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, you're just...
Your frontal cortex does not develop until you're 25 years old.
You're high school, you're in high school, and not saying I would ever do anything that's stupid, but
right.
You're just in high school. You probably shouldn't even be able to drive at 16.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't... if someone... I don't think you just wake up in the morning and want to go do something like that.
No.
I think it's something that's thought out. There's a reason why they have the ammunition they have and everything else. You can't just go buy that one day at Walmart,
Right.
But going back to that, drugs are illegal. You can still purchase them.
Yep.
Same thing with guns. If somebody wants to get a hold of a gun that bad, they're going to be able to do it. What I don't want to see happen is all the good people not be able to have guns, and the people who don't need guns get guns. Then you can't protect yourself.
100%.
I would like to see the background checks done, I guess, a little more, maybe a little harder.
Properly, right.
Yeah, maybe not be able to get the gun the same day.
Yeah.
Because I know of an instant where someone should have not been able to purchase a gun, and they were able to. I don't know why or how, but they were able to. So I don't know what needs to be done. I think education is very important, and training people on right from wrong. I know stable household is important.
Absolutely.
I don't know where all these kids come from, blessed with two parents that have been together and are still together. So, I mean, I don't know. It's difficult.
It's a subject that no one has an answer to.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. This gun, particularly, I'm conflicted with having this gun. Not that it's an AR-15, just how I got this gun. I bought this gun when I was 18 years old at a gun show from a guy that I'd never met in my life who didn't make me file any paperwork.
Yeah.
Back then, that was cool. It was great. I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah.
Now looking at it, it's like, man, if the wrong person got their hands on that gun, what could they do? They could probably kill 5-6 people with it.
Yeah.
Not that one because it's a piece of shit and it only fires one round at one time. But, I mean, looking at it now, I'm like, man, I don't know if gun shows should be legal how they're set up today. There should be paperwork involved.
Yeah.
You should have a background check no matter what to get a firearm.
Yeah.
Especially one that's capable of shooting 200 meters and accurately.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really started thinking about, I love having 30 round mags. They're fun. But shoot, 10 rounds is all I need.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, if I'm thinking about it, 10 rounds is perfect for hunting. 10 rounds is perfect for fun. I get the appeal of 30 rounds, but now that I'm really stepping back and looking at our nation as a whole, shoot, 30 rounds may be too much.
Yeah.
And
but my deal is, I mean, that's even like with a revolver. If a good marksman with 2 revolvers, and he knows how to work, the gun, whether it be a revolver, semi-automatic, or fully automatic, if he's good enough, he can do just as much damage with that.
That's true. That's 100% true. I have guns in my possession that are not even close to as deadly as some of the guns that people know that are out there, but I really have pistols out there that if I was in a room, I could hit 17 people in the eye with one. Yeah. Just one pistol, because I'm that proficient with it. It's up to the marksman, but at the same time, a shitty marksman with a bump stock can put a lot of bullets out there.
Yeah.
That's what was so bothersome about, the Las Vegas shooting, was that guy had what was technically a fully automatic weapon. That's where I have issue with certain attachments to a weapon. Bump stock, I've never had one, never needed one.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is something that the NRA should just be like, hey, maybe we don't need to have these. But the NRA is unwilling to compromise. And we need the NRA. We definitely need them.
Well, once you start compromising a little bit,
that's the line right there.
They just keep eating at you. And
that's the problem is if we compromise, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
But we do need to compromise. We don't need people out there with a bump stock.
Yeah. But you can still do a bump stock shooting method without a bump stock.
You can. It won't be as effective, though.
Yeah.
A bump stock makes it effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a touchy subject that most people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to bring it up, because most people don't want to talk about it.
No, I don't mind talking about it, but I mean, 2,000 years ago they killed each other with rocks.
Yeah. There's no difference. There's nut jobs everywhere.
Yeah.
No matter whether a knife, a truck, people use all kinds of crazy stuff to kill each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like the biggest issue we have is probably mental illness.
Yeah. But and education and where those people go. I mean, wife works in the ER. She sees a lot of those patients, and they're either in prison, or they're at the hospital.
Yeah,
and
it's not a good place for them.
And they're in and out of there. There's not a place for them to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, back in, I think it was Ronald Reagan got rid of all the mental institutions, which at that time was the right thing to do because they were torturing people.
Yeah.
But we need to somehow institutionalize people that need it.
Mm-hmm.
But
and I think you also have a lot of people who don't want to accept it. It could be their family member.
Yeah.
And
they don't want to believe that they have an issue.
Yeah. And they might maybe shelter them a little bit, or they might not show them any attention.
That's possible for sure.
But it's because there's not a place for them to go,
There's really not. I don't even know where. If my wife ended up being crazy tonight, I wouldn't know where to take her.
Yeah.
It's definitely an issue. I just wish. I think my biggest point on gun control isn't so much controlling the guns. It's if we truly believe, as people that support the Second Amendment, and as people that really believe in our right to hold these firearms, if we really truly believe that this is a mental health issue, we need the NRA and the people that support us to start helping the mentally ill.
Yeah.
That's really what I would like us to get to. That's what I would like the NRA to come out and say is, hey, we recognize this is the issue. It's time for us to start helping.
Yeah.
They haven't done it yet. They might. They probably will
Yeah.
at some point. But I think that's the biggest issue is
And
just...
I'd also like to point out the fact that I don't know the stats on this, but I know the majority of the mass shootings have been in gun-free zones.
Of course.
And
concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a school.
Yeah.
Mostly schools, but yeah, those are gun-free zones.
Yeah.
If we can arm people and let them be armed in places,
Yeah.
they would be safer to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have trained people with firearms.
Yes. Yeah.
That was what was so shocking about the concealed carry class that I took. Myself and my buddy Sean, we prepared ourselves for it. We did everything we could to learn how to shoot. When we got there was people that should not have a freaking gun at all.
Yeah.
At all.
In other words, they should have done some homework before the class.
That and after. And until they die, they need to be learning how to use a firearm. They were terrible. Those are the kind of people that worry me a little bit, because I feel like there's probably, I don't know, 50% of the gun population of people that think, oh, I'm really good with a gun, but in reality, they're not even close to good with a gun.
Yeah. And there's some people who own a gun who, like you said, that they don't hardly ever use it. They have it just for protection. It's in their house, They've probably maybe shot it one time.
Yeah, which is not the way to be a responsible gun owner.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not. If you're truly going to protect yourself and your fellow citizens, you better know how to shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at how poorly people shoot, in police videos and things like that, and you're just like, man, if you really got in a gun battle, you'd be done in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There needs to be a cooperative effort to help this issue.
Yeah.
I think it stems from a lot of different things.
Man, I'll tell you what,
going back to the stats on the gun-free zone stuff, the majority of the shootings being in those areas. Also, the majority of those people have taken their own lives.
Yeah,
so you're not able to, seek
them.
Evaluation after that.
Right.
So for this instance, that latest one, I mean, I hate that he's alive, but at the same time, maybe you can take something from that and move forward. Yeah,
every person is a different animal, and people that decide to take the lives of other people are way different animals. Mm-hmm. It's a psychological warfare that I'm not sure we're really prepared as a society to battle. Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
It's different. It's weird. It's strange that people are out there that want to just harm others and then harm themselves.
Yep.
It's against humanity. I mean, It doesn't make sense as a whole.
Yeah.
But I really believe that there's probably compromises that we as gun owners can make that would make non-gun owners feel safer and really not compromise our rights. And the one that I really think is the bump stock. I don't know why anyone needs one. I've shot one before. It fired like shit. I couldn't hit anything with it. They're useless.
And I agree with you, because I come from every gun I have is for hunting.
Exactly.
So I don't go out to just shoot ammo just to shoot it.
Right.
One, because it's very expensive.
Right.
And that adds up pretty quick. So I would never buy anything like that. But I mean, my stuff that I have is, like I said, for hunting. But and I guess these other people who buy things like this, they might they might not be hunters. They might be people who go to the range on the weekends.
Yeah, target shooters.
That's their golf. That's what they like to do.
Yep.
So I don't know. Taking anything away from somebody's difficult. I know old people don't like their driver's license taken away from them because I mean that's
a big
it's
killer
a privilege,
too.
you know. It's a right, and you take that away from them, and it sucks. So.
I'm gonna make this work. I swear to God.
What is that?
Oh, it's just I'm trying to get the cameras to work.
Got you.
I was telling Matthew last podcast I'm hoping to get a video camera. I should have another GoPro pretty soon here.
Oh, nice.
But technology's a pain.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about gun control, gun safety. What's let's go back into more fun. What's your favorite gun? What do you like to shoot? What do you like to play with? Even if you don't own it.
I mean, I do like my AR-15.
Yeah.
I've got a scope on it, 3x9. It's got easy eye relief, so it's good for varmint hunting, pig hunting. You could also use it for deer hunting if you wanted to. Self-defense if you had to. It's kind of like my Jeep of guns. You can add to it what you want to. It's basically a black hole for money.
Yeah, definitely.
And but I mean they're fun. They serve a purpose. So yeah, that's the one that just stays in my truck.
They're great guns. I like my AR. Not this one. This one sucks. I like my other AR. What I really like is my Scorpion Evo. I don't know if you've ever seen one.
It's got that magazine and the.
That's the Tavor. It's a bullpup. The Scorpion is a pistol technically, but it's like a submachine gun.
Oh, gotcha.
So much fun to shoot. They're 9mm. They don't shoot far. They're just for up close.
Yeah.
It's just
I know
fun
what you're talking about now.
Yeah, they're just fun to just shoot targets.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to go shoot in a while though. I'm glad that I got that Benelli shotgun though, because shooting clays is probably one of my favorite things.
Nice. When did you get it?
I actually won it at a Ducks Unlimited deal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a dinner.
When was this? Did you take it duck hunting?
Year and a half ago. Yeah, I duck hunted with it last time we went.
Oh, is it that pump? Is it a pump? No? Semi-auto?
Yeah, semi-auto.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Got you.
Remember I was hitting everything and you weren't hitting anything?
Yeah, that's probably right. That's probably right.
Yeah, those are great guns.
No, they are. They're really good.
Yeah, I actually got to shoot it in the last skeet shoot I was at. Actually, the hat I'm wearing, Freedom Service Dogs puts on a shoot every year.
Oh, gotcha.
Faces of Freedom.
Where's it at?
In Midland.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping, probably not this year. Things got kind of busy, but maybe next year be able to get a shootout in Houston for them. They're an awesome organization. They rescue dogs. They train them to be service dogs, and they give them to military veterans.
Gotcha.
With PTSD or other disabilities, missing limbs, things like that. It's me and Allie don't give money to the church. We give money to Faces of Freedom just because it's really, or Freedom Service Dog. Sorry, it's really what we like. They're an awesome organization.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't give money to the Catholic Church because, quite honestly, when I went nilgai hunting, that ranch was owned by the Catholic Church. It was 115,000 acres that the church owns. If you do 10,000 an acre, which it's worth every bit of that, it's worth $1.1 billion. They don't need any more money. They're good.
I like the way you put that. That's good.
They're definitely good.
Yeah. And speaking of dogs and service dogs, a thought that I had is maybe to help with this gun issue is I know at least my high school, they would have a drug dog or gun dog come in ever so often. You would never know when it would come.
Yeah.
Which was good, but why not have one there every day?
Yeah. Why
checking
not?
students coming in and out, checking vehicles out there. I mean, there's plenty of dogs out there. You could put them to use.
Yeah.
They're cheaper than paying a human.
Yeah. It's cheaper, but you got to have a human handler.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
they could just visit school to school. It could be a canine unit from a police station.
Yep.
It's yeah, there's options like that out there. I just don't know if they've all been explored. Plus, you got to remember, the government's a massive beast that doesn't really listen to reason. So
yeah, true.
But that's a great idea, though. My little private school in high school, we never had drug dogs come in. They just assumed we were clean. I was clean through high school, but I'm pretty sure most of the kids were not clean. I'm almost positive that most of them were not.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just a side note. I just thought about that after you were talking about that.
Yeah, no, I love the service dogs. We didn't have any dogs growing up when I was a kid, and I don't know, since I got two of my own now, I really freaking love dogs.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have a...
They're fun until you wake up in the middle of the night. Or actually, I woke up... it was about 4 o'clock in the morning to go hunting one morning, and stepped over and stepped in some dog shit. And it squeezed in between my toes.
No.
That's when it's not cool.
No. Yeah, once you step in the dog shit, it's a different game.
Yeah.
But... I freaking love having dogs, and I totally get it now. I totally understand why it's so important to give them to veterans with PTSD. They're incredible. So, for instance, one of the service dogs, he was given to a guy that was clearing houses. So his primary goal in Iraq or Afghanistan, I forget which one he was in, he would go through the houses, kick down the doors, clear each room to room. Mm-hmm. Well, he gets back to the States. That's still on his mind. He has issues walking into his own home after dark. So they trained a dog to go in his house, turn on every single light switch in the house, clearing the house for him, comes back outside, sits in front of him to let him know that everything's okay, and so he can go back into his own home.
That's crazy.
So it takes away mental disabilities that these people would normally live with for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
It's incredible what they can do with them.
Yeah.
Definitely we need more organizations like that. It's
that are giving back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a lot more organizations like that. It's definitely a dream of mine. Once I can finally get a boat, I'd like to give some more hours to veterans to take them fishing. Just give them a couple good days,
Yeah.
It's difficult. I know it's difficult having PTSD or other depressions or things like that. It's not fun to get through. So, man, if anybody's listening, definitely give to Freedom Service Dogs. They're amazing. So, how'd you like that Havilon knife that I gave you?
I like it a lot.
Yeah? Is it a game changer?
It is. It is.
They're awesome.
There's I guess you have to be born on a certain month or something, I don't know, to be able to sharpen a knife, but I was not born on that month. I cannot seem to sharpen a knife, so that knife's perfect for me. You can just keep buying new blades, and man, it cuts good. So, and you typically cut yourself with a dull knife because you're usually stabbing something versus cutting it. And it's great.
Good deal.
It's in my hunting pack. That's where it's going to stay.
Yeah, I keep mine with me. It's the best thing to skin an animal with.
Yeah.
Maybe not break its rib bones, but definitely skin it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, it's like cutting butter.
Yeah. That nilgai that we shot definitely used a Havilon on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was such a cool hunt. Did I tell you about that?
A little bit. Still haven't seen any pictures, but
I'll show you a picture. So, that hunt's crazy. They tell you straight up. They're like, hey, I called them. I was like, hey, is my 308 okay for me to shoot one of these with? They're like, no, not even close. I was like, well, what do I need? And they're like, well, we have a 338 Lapua, and you can shoot that. And I was like, all right, I'll shoot your gun. I didn't know I'd be shooting a sniper rifle, but all right. Man, you start realizing how many of these things are in South Texas. They're everywhere. They've taken over.
yeah.
You drive down the road, you see 12 of them. You see 7 of them.
And there's not a season for those, right?
No, they're exotic. They were introduced from India.
So
So
you can shoot them whenever.
yeah, they're running wild. They're everywhere. Well, we finally get to a point where we haven't spooked them because they're real spooky. I mean, spookier than whitetail. They'll freaking run as soon as they know you're there. We get stopped on a road. The guide sees them out in the distance, and we start sneaking up, get behind some bushes, crawl a little bit to where I'm positioned. I'm 250 to 270 yards away. Can't get it laying down. Can't get prone. So I have to put my gun on a notch in a tree that's not a great position. So I'm kind of sitting there like on my haunches, trying to shoot him at 250.
Yeah, moving.
And I'm serious. No other animal in my entire life have I ever been that nervous. I freaking shake for 5 minutes. That's not an exaggeration. I was sitting there for 5 minutes, heart pounding, just shaking. And finally I just like put the gun up and I just like waited a minute, just backed away from it, and I was breathing in and breathing out. And then finally I got back up onto that scope and got it perfect right on him, squeezed the trigger perfectly. Because I was hunched over in a weird position, that bullet went probably 8 inches to the left of where it was supposed to be. It was a miraculous shot that just snapped his neck, broke his jugular, killed him instantly.
Nice.
He's a big animal. They weigh at least 550 pounds.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they're humongous animals. So now my freezer is full.
Almost like a wildebeest.
Oh, yeah, they're huge. My freezer is full of his meat right now.
Well, no wonder you were shaking. That gun looks like it weighs 25 pounds.
Yeah, I asked him. I was like, how much does this freaking thing weigh? He was like, oh, it weighs 9 pounds. And I was like, it feels like it weighs 30. Well, shoot, you want to take a break and
Yeah, I got
to piss?
I gotta pee.
Oh, I gotta pee so bad.
Do you need? I got a GoPro too.
Do you?
Yeah. Taylor bought me. I guess bought me one before we went on our honeymoon.
Oh, she bought you a GoPro?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I think it's probably for one of my birthdays. It's good.
Which GoPro is it?
I think it's the Hero 4.
Okay, that one's a Hero 3.
Got you. Yeah, see, this one's its own unit. It's waterproof. It's just a little square.
I'm about to get one of those. I ordered one.
Yeah.
Did they do that with? Yeah, they did that with the Hero 4.
Yeah.
So I got the 5.
Nice.
So
I haven't even looked into the new ones.
they're
I'm sure they're really good.
freaking sweet. I'm gonna replace that camera with the Hero 5.
Got you.
I'd like to get a video camera, but I'm gonna wait until, I don't know, I have more than 2 episodes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll use it on the honeymoon. Some videos I had to delete. She wanted me to keep those. Then we also, Grandpa wanted to go fishing, so went with KK.
Yeah.
And used it for that because he's always been wanting to take us fishing, show us his special spots, and do this and do that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take my GoPro. So we'll have all this on video.
That's awesome.
And it turned out to be more of a comedy show than educational. But
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You think KK would go fishing again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
We might have to get a crane to put him in there. But
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this weather getting warmer, and whenever get a good rain and the creek rises, then we'll go. Take him out there, and you can come too.
Yeah, for sure. We need to get a boat ramp.
Yeah.
We need to make that thing worth putting a boat in.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, basically, it's got to come up to a certain level for us to put it in. And the deal that's difficult for him is, you're stepping in off of a muddy bank.
Yeah.
That's very slippery. Then you get in a boat.
Yeah, it's not good for an old man.
And his shoes are slippery.
Yeah.
Mud slippery. Boat slippery. It's a disaster.
Yeah. Maybe we could put him in the boat before we launch it.
And plus, the boat moves as he's stepping in it.
Yeah. We should put him in the boat before we launch it.
Yeah. No, that works better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always. You're not always able to do that. But
it is much harder to launch a boat with somebody in it.
Yeah.
Especially when they weigh as much as the boat.
Yeah. No, but he's full of life and full of information. So.
That's so much fun about him.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
We I guess we just went last year's the first time we went actually fishing, and used some of his old lines, and he accused us of messing them up, and these get tangled up, and you got to have a swivel on there. So after, I guess I would call it the fishing season, went back and cut all the lines up. Just left the weights to where we could build the correct lines that he wanted.
Yep.
With leaders on them that had swivels on them, so they wouldn't get. And we were sitting down there making them. He's like, "What are y'all doing?" Well, don't you want lines with swivels on them? Yeah, but that's a pain in the ass. A lot of work. It's like, well, I thought this is what you wanted. You bitched about them being tangled up all the time, so we're trying to fix that. Well, yeah, but I mean, you could just use the other ones. They'll work all right, but so we're tired of you bitching, We don't want any excuses when we go fishing.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. Oh, man.
So, bait was cheaper back then and, better. And
yeah.
So
the worms were 38 inches long and they only cost 1 penny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He is that.
Oh, man.
But GoPro got a bunch of videos of us in action and him in action and fishing. So it was good.
So, man, did you see Elon Musk launch a rocket into space?
Did not.
His Tesla was inside of it. Dude, technology's getting kind of ridiculous.
I did not see that.
This guy.
I don't watch much news.
It's just on the internet, man.
Oh, well, I haven't seen that.
He freaking launched his heavy payload rocket. His heavy payload rocket had a Tesla inside of it.
Huh.
With a fake astronaut in it. And it's orbiting the sun. So it's crossing paths. I think it's an elliptical orbit around the sun and then in between the Earth and Mars. There's a freaking...
And why did he do this?
Because he's a billionaire, he can.
Gotcha.
It's a pissing contest.
Nice. So is he going to ask to come back down or what?
No, it's going to orbit forever.
Huh. Okay.
That's
I guess that's
the new status quo for billionaires. It's going to be like, hey, would you launch into space this week?
gotcha. I guess he's got it in storage.
Yeah. Just anytime he wants it, he can go get it.
Yeah. Dang. No, I did not even know about that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Have you seen anything about the artificial intelligence?
Mm-mm.
Dude, humans are about to be extinct.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the robot sex dolls.
Well, the robot sex dolls is one thing. The artificial intelligence is scary. There was one, I forgot which company made it, but they trained an artificial intelligence off of Twitter. So
Everything that knows off Twitter?
yeah, so it was reading everything off of Twitter and learning and excuse me. It was learning everything off of Twitter. Well, some people got together and started training it. They trained it to be a racist Nazi. And so within like 24 hours, this artificial intelligence was a Nazi and they had to shut it down.
Oh, gosh.
It's really scary that we can train computers to be
A certain way.
hateful that quickly,
Yeah.
especially considering that robots are getting so advanced. You probably haven't seen the new robots coming out other than the sex doll.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've made like a cheetah robot. They can run 60 miles an hour. Like, scary stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to be screwed pretty soon here.
I mean, the Roomba or whatever that thing is that cleans your floors is already crazy enough.
I know. We have one. It's useful.
Yeah.
It's not as smart as I'd like it to be.
Yeah. I'd like for them to get more advanced with the lawn mowing one.
They have a lawnmower one?
Yeah, they used to advertise it, a long time ago. I haven't seen any, real good ones, I guess you would say.
That sounds like a freaking liability. A freaking blade running around your yard unsupervised.
Well, yeah, that probably too.
Holy
But that
crap.
means that you wouldn't have to mow the lawn.
Right? There's a couple of neighborhood kids under it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Or it runs over all your prized rose bushes.
Those are replaceable.
Yep.
Just like kids. Okay, I got a couple of beers in that cooler. They're 2 craft beers. They're supposed to be blondes. I want to try them.
Dallas.
Yes, Dallas. We don't have to finish these.
Oh, you just want me to try?
Yeah, just try one.
This is when I get a headache.
When you what?
This is when I get a headache.
When you get a headache? Yeah.
Or at least that's what I'll blame it on.
Man, I'm a blonde beer fan. When it comes to craft beer.
They got a bed, I guess?
Yeah, I guess the women went to bed. That's actually pretty good. I don't know if you like these.
It's almost got like a raspberry is something afterwards. No, it's pretty good going down.
Yeah, so Dallas Blonde. Love runs deep. That's what it says on the can. It's got a fat baby doll on it. It's pretty good. Not gonna complain.
Yeah. No, there's a certain kick at the end. I can't.
So, have you gotten into craft beers at all?
No.
Me neither.
No.
I found this at the grocery store. They taste alright. You start getting into like stouts and like stuff that looks like it came out of a fucking porta potty. I'm not drinking that.
Yeah.
I don't care how good people say it is. It's not good.
Yeah. I know there's some people that's
their jam.
That's their hobby.
Yeah.
That's what they like, beers like that.
As soon as somebody starts talking about beer like rich people talk about wine, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, this tastes like...
It's Coors Light, Natural Light, Keystone, Miller Lite. That's about all I know.
Yeah, if I can hydrate from it, that sounds great. If it's going to take my soul when I drink it, I don't want anything to do with it. What is that, Heineken? Heineken sucks.
Never tried it. It's too green for me.
It's disgusting.
I went to... well, actually, I take that back. I went to Germany for study abroad. And I guess we were in Berlin, and there's a brewery there. No,
Berlin is Germany.
Yeah, but we were. I don't know if it was Amsterdam or Berlin. I forget.
Amsterdam is not Germany.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying. Berlin or Amsterdam. There was a whatever brewery, and went there, did a little tour.
Do they have
and drank some? That's the first time I drank
dark
some.
beers or?
No, it was all light.
Oh, really?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, in the green bottle. Yeah.
Was it good?
I really don't remember.
Too drunk?
Yeah, I basically stayed drunk on my study abroad. Basically paid for my A's.
How did you stay drunk there without Coors Light?
Well, they've got some decent good beer, but the deal is they give you these little it's probably like 6-ounce glasses.
Yeah.
And so it's always cold, you know.
Oh, I got you. So you can just hammer it.
Yeah, I mean it goes down really smooth. It never gets hot on you, and they've got a bunch of beer gardens and different things to go see, you know, shows and just hang out and drink beer. But yeah, no Coors Light.
You know, I've never been over there, like, at all. Like, the longest plane flight I think I've been on has been like 5 hours.
Yeah.
What was that plane ride like?
Well,
because you went to London, right? So you had to fly into London, or did you fly?
Well, no, I flew from Houston to
New York.
No, I flew straight from Houston to Frankfurt. It's a 12-hour flight.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that like?
Well, luckily enough, I was sick right before I went on that plane. And I believe I had strep throat. And
why is that lucky?
Well, my doctor I use with strep throat, I usually get some type of strep throat or tonsillitis once a year. And he prescribes you a cough syrup that helps you go to sleep, you know. Because usually with strep throat, you're constantly hawking stuff up. You can't sleep.
It's terrible.
And it's miserable. So he provides or subscribes a whatever it is. He gives you some medicine that basically shuts your cough down, makes you go to sleep.
Right.
So, and that happened like day before I was supposed to go. So I get my medicine, get on the plane, immediately take it. You know, it's like
fall asleep.
Yeah, it's like a 8 a.m. flight or something like that, or maybe even sooner than that, I forget.
Dang.
So yeah, I probably slept for 10 hours. I missed 3 meals while on the plane because I was sleeping. So.
Did you feel better afterward?
Oh yeah, great.
That's crazy.
Landed and everything was good. I continued my steroids and medicine that he'd give me. You know, everything worked out good. Now the plane flight back was absolutely miserable.
Really?
So yeah, I sat next to a non-English speaking woman with a toddler who sat there and cried and stunk the whole way back. Yeah. So me being antsy and can't sit still, I would constantly get up on the airplane and walk around and go to the bathroom and go see some buddies I was over there with and talk to them and come back and no, it was good. It's fun. But yeah, speaking of Coors Light, when I got back, my brother and my dad were there to pick me up, and they had a ice chest
in the back of the truck.
Yep, full of Coors Light, and
you're just like, y'all drive. I'm gonna stay in the bed of the truck and drink this cooler.
So goddamn, glad y'all got some. Germany beer was good, but nothing like something you're used to.
What did you think of Germany as a whole? Cool place.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. Seeing people on the trains with swastikas on their neck and like sure enough skinheads, that was not cool.
Wait, really? That's happening there?
Yeah, there's some like I don't even know what you call them, but like there's
some straight up neo-Nazis there.
Yeah, you look at them and you feel like you're probably in prison. It's like, it's not. I need to watch that guy. But
that's weird. Well, thank God you're white, but
yeah,
but that's weird.
Yeah, and but no, for the most part, it's really cool. Fairly good food. After World War II, they're basically nothing. So they had to rely on all the other countries to get them to where they are today, and now they no longer want that. So they want to be self-sustained. They want to be able to do and provide their own if anything like that happens again.
Right.
So, I really respect that. They're really as far as construction, because I kind of went over there to learn about construction methods and things that they do differently than what we do, and they're a lot further advanced than we are here in the United States.
How so?
Just with the way they're trying to more energy efficient. They build things better. They do things differently, They have different climate, different atmosphere, and things like that. But they're trying to advance faster than we are, I think. We're still kind of stuck in a rut as far as it's hard for us to transition into a new building method, whereas they accept it and they try to move forward with it and use it and keep growing on it. They've got roofs that are made completely of sod, grass that grows an inch a year. That way you don't have to maintain it.
How do I get that in my yard?
Yeah, I don't know. But there's just different things. They harness water, they harness wind, sun. They don't want to rely on anybody else except for themselves.
It's pretty fascinating. In West Texas, we're very much the same because we have oil, we have wind power, and I've seen some solar power.
Yeah.
Very similar, except for we don't hate the Jews.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Germans hate the Jews. It just sounds like there's a lot of neo-Nazis there if you were able to see a few of them on the subway.
Yeah. That was a little sketchy.
So,
but I did get kicked out of a bar one night and told the bartender that we're back-to-back World War champs. So. I told the bouncer that. Yeah. He didn't have much to say. He said something, but I didn't understand it. So obviously I won.
It didn't matter at that point.
Yeah. World War I and World War II, buddy.
What are you going to say, Fritz? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about World War One and World War Two is it was both started by the Germans. Both times they lost.
Yeah.
And now they wonder why nobody trusts them.
Yeah.
Have you seen, man. Excuse me. There's a documentary on Netflix called Dirty Money.
Dirty Money. No, I think I've seen the previews or whatever for it, but I've not watched it.
Part of it is about Volkswagen. And Volkswagen obviously is from Germany.
Yeah.
And they talk about how they cheated the emission standards. It's fascinating. Basically, they found a way, okay, whenever they test a car for emissions, everyone does it the same way. It's on a track, not on a track, but it's on a stationary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got rotors under it. Yeah,
you're not moving.
Yeah, they're not moving at all. Mm-hmm. Well, the car recognizes that the steering wheel is not steering. And so it knows, like, oh, yeah, well, at this moment, I'm being tested, so the emission is going to be on. When the steering wheel moves, it turns off. So that's their clean diesel.
Yeah.
Their clean diesel is actually probably more pollutant than my F-250 is. Because it turns off all of it.
Huh.
And it just pollutes the shit out of the environment. Yeah.
Dumps it out.
It's crazy. And at this point, their CEO is still not indicted on any criminal charges. Which makes sense because this is happening in America and he's in Germany. But they haven't transferred any of this. They haven't transferred any of this to Germany as legislation, but the emission standards basically have not been changed in Europe because they're so scared of what it'll do to the car manufacturers.
Yeah.
That's where most of their jobs are.
Yep. True. Yeah, I know when I was over there, you'd see Mercedes and BMWs and Audis just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I mean,
no Chevys, no Fords.
That's America.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. You see expensive cars over here. Expensive cars we were riding in were, farmers. That's their car that they drive to the farm and put their produce in, and muddy and dirty it up and
a freaking
drive it home.
BMW.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was a BMW. Yeah, that's right.
They have to be cheaper there.
Yeah, I don't know what the cost was, but
it has to be like an old Cadillac that you put.
Everything there mostly was standard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I didn't see any much of
standard is much more fuel efficient.
Yeah, if you know how to drive them.
Yeah, they're obnoxious, but fuel efficient. Yeah, so you were asking about that sword?
Yeah.
My buddy Cash gave it to me. I was 12.
You needed a sword like you needed another hole in your head.
I know. We were all really into Star Wars. I'm sure he still is. I am. And we were into sword fights. We actually used to get like fake lightsabers and battle each other. Like hardcore, like beat the shit out of each other with them. And man, one time we had bamboo sticks. My buddy Matt Herrmann, he had bamboo growing in his backyard. So we took bamboo sticks and we started fighting with them. Me and Cash connected perfectly where they both shattered. Bamboo went through my thumb.
Oh, nice.
Like almost all the way. I almost fainted.
So then you got a sword?
Yeah. So my buddy Cash gave me a sword for my birthday when I was a kid.
Nice.
It was in my dad's gun safe forever, and when I moved out, like, you know, after college, he was like, "Hey, you want this sword?" Yes. Somebody breaks in, I'm swording him to death.
Yeah. That or some Yopons get out of hand in
Right.
your backyard, you can knock them down.
So I didn't realize this. In West Texas, we have 2 types of trees. We got oak trees. We got
No trees.
pine trees.
Yeah.
That's it. We come out here. I look on my driveway today, and there's yellow shit everywhere. I'm like, "What is this, Natalie?" She's like, "Oh, that's pollen." I'm like, "What? What is pollen?" "Oh, it's from all the trees." No idea that this is just a cesspool of allergies that I'm living in now. I'm screwed. Totally screwed.
You better start taking your medicine.
Oh, I take it every day. But in West Texas, might as well have like freaking valley fever. Like, your lungs just feel like they're clogged full of dirt. I'm pretty sure my lungs are 50% dirt at this point.
Oh, you'll get used to it down here.
Oh, yeah. Everyone keeps talking about the humidity. I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like a welcome compared to being dried out in West Texas.
Yeah.
Here's something you probably had never experienced. Tarantula migration.
No, never seen that.
No? Never?
No. That'd be something for the AR, though.
Yeah. Well, when I was working on a frac crew, we had, there's about 20 guys that work on a frac crew. This is back when we were doing vertical wells. So the vertical wells, we, 9 stages, doesn't mean much to you, but plug and perf. So you run in with a wire line, which is a tool on a wire that we run in a well bore. Set a tool that basically plugs off the bottom of it, of the well bore. Then we perf the top of it. Then we pump our stage, which a stage is, we're pumping sand into it.
Gotcha.
Now, while we're pumping sand into it, I was a blender tender, which is like the heart of the operation. So I'm making sure fluid coming in is right and fluid coming out is right with the sand mixed into it. So we got sand going into the fracture, opening it up, propping it open, yada yada yada, make a well. Well, the tarantula migration happens while I'm out there doing this.
I know you don't like insects.
I hate spiders.
Is a spider an insect? Yeah.
It's an arachnid.
Oh.
Let me tell you what. I hate spiders because of you. This is ingrained in my brain, RC. This is because of you.
Does it go back to the grasshopper or no?
Not the grasshoppers.
Oh, when we were painting fence?
No, not when we were painting fence. When we were kids at your old house.
Yeah.
Old house. We were running through that cornfield behind your house.
On Grand
Those
Street.
banana spiders.
Yeah.
You and Hank ducked in front of me. And I didn't know why, because I was from West Texas and we didn't have shit like that. Ran into a banana spider in my face. Of course, it's as big as my face.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've been scarred. I can't do spiders. Natalie has to kill spiders for me. Shit ain't happening. I'm not touching spiders.
I ain't much on them either.
No. Well, when we were kids, you used to play with them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're a
Banana
weird
spiders.
kid.
Yeah.
You were sick.
Yeah, but then I've gotten smarter.
Well, ever since then, I've hated spiders. Well, all the guys I used to work with on the frat crew, they were like my family. I love those guys. They're like older brothers, of course. So we're out there swinging hammers. Man, I'm telling you, 115 degrees outside, 120 degrees outside, 130 degrees outside, doesn't matter. Swinging hammers. I'm swinging away, making up connections. Freaking, who was it? I think Raul. Raul comes up behind me, puts a tarantula on my shoulder. I freak out. Bad. I hate spiders. Flick it off me. Well, little did I know, that was only one tarantula out of the 50,000 that were going to cross location that day. The migration came through location. Spiders running all over the place.
Did you have to shut down for that or no?
No.
Huh.
No, we don't shut down for spiders. That's crazy talk. That's money. No one cares about that. We drive down the road. Looks like the road's moving. It's covered in tarantulas everywhere. And my dad used to tell me stories about this when I was a kid. He's like, oh yeah, the tarantula migration. We used to ride our bikes in it. Looks like the road's moving in the morning. And it's actually 1,000 spiders. That's real.
I've never seen it. Never want to witness it.
You talk about 10,000 tarantulas on a frack location. It's a heyday with those guys. Picking them up, putting them on each other, picking them up, throwing them at each other. Man, that is not okay for me. Eventually, I get okay with it. I'm like, all right, there's spiders everywhere. I can deal with this because I can see them.
Yeah.
It's not okay when... So the only way to take a break on a frat crew back in the day, you're working 24 hours a day. This is no joke, 24/7. With a 10-hour break on Sunday, you're working. That's just how it goes. How we got our rest was laying on the ground and falling asleep.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it then.
Tarantulas.
Tarantulas. Glad I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
I do miss those days, though. There's something special about the oil field where everyone's your family.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but you work really hard. You work your butt off just trying to make a living. And everyone else is just trying to make a living around you. And
you slow down, someone helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
someone fills in. And
your family.
Going. Yeah, yeah.
I miss that because, I get to do it every once in a while when I go out to location and I'm a company man. And as a company man, you're responsible for your location. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that, but it's not quite like that because as a company man, you're actually in charge of everybody. But when you're on the crew, it's different.
Yeah, yeah.
You're in it. You're just...
And you can cuss the company man then.
Yeah, no, you can be like, oh, this son of a bitch is making us do this, and I can't believe he's making us do this. And
yeah.
Yeah, I know. When you're the company man, it's a little bit different, but it's, man, I kind of miss it. I kind of miss being a part of that family.
Yeah.
And I kind of miss being a company man. I haven't done it in a while, maybe 6 months, but, there's a camaraderie that most individuals in other professions don't get to, where you go out there, you're out there for 2 weeks with everybody. You
eat, sleep
together. You look after each other. In the oil field, it's all about safety. So you're making sure, hey, is this guy okay? Is he actually okay? Is he safe? It's it's different in the oil field. It's a lot of fun. Y'all seen any of that in construction?
Yeah, there's there's certain crews that work with each other all the time, and they might have to mesh up with another crew, and they don't do as well with the other crew,
Right?
because they're not with each other all the time. They don't know, okay, I'm cutting this piece of material. My buddy over here that I've been working with for the past 2 years knows after I get done cutting this to do this, the chain of commands. And when they get messed up with another crew, they don't know kind of who falls in what place, and you tend to actually lose productivity with more men.
You do.
Yeah, than if you just keep your normal crew on that job. Because one guy might be putting up steel while the other guy is sheeting the other side of the building, and it just goes a lot smoother.
Absolutely. That's what's incredible about working jobs like this is, man, you work a desk job 9 to 5. You're just working with a bunch of other monkeys, basically. That's how I felt when I was at a big company.
Yeah.
But working in the field or working alongside basically your brothers.
Yeah, you know their name, their wife or their girlfriend, and maybe even their kids, and
yeah,
they keep you updated with them, and you're invested in them, and everyone's invested.
Yeah, I mean, I remember probably one of my best friends out fracking was Robert Vela, which Vela means it means candle. So he's like, you can call me Candle. I was like, no, I'm going to call you Vela. But he was a great guy. He mentored me a lot through blender tending. And it's, man, you just become a different kind of family. Family you didn't choose. Mm-hmm. Just like your own family.
Yeah.
But family that you had to stick with.
Yeah. You got to put your differences aside and just get the work done.
Which there's tons of guys out there that I owe a lot to. I mean, Rafa was another guy. Rafa was a huge man, big man, that taught me how to swing a hammer. I mean, it's really cool to be a 21-year-old kid that's skinny that knows how to swing a 20-pound hammer.
Yep.
And everybody else doesn't know how to do anything.
Yeah. And be just as effective as a 200-pound man.
Yeah. That's the key. They gave me a lot of shit at the beginning because, I'd swing the hammer as hard as I could. I'd miss a couple times.
Muscling it.
Yeah. And they'd be like, no, you got to use the technique. And I remember one time I was swinging the hammer, probably 4 or 5 days in. I was swinging, learning how to do it. I nicked it off the side of a Union, nailed my knee. I was like, oh my God, it hurts so much. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're going to learn from that. I'm like, yeah, I am going to learn from this.
Live and you learn.
So, I was going to have you pick one item in the room to ask about. Let me tell a story about. Any item in this room has a story.
I guess the blowgun that's like 6 foot tall.
The blowgun. I like it. Well, let me turn this camera on real fast. The blowgun is pretty interesting because I was in my house in West Texas wondering what I could do that would be fun.
Tarantulas.
Yeah.
Shoot those.
And I was wondering, like, how do I hunt in my backyard in West Texas? And I started looking up different urban hunting. And it actually came up that people were using blowguns. I was like, blowguns aren't effective. That's crazy. Well, I found this video of a guy that actually went warthog hunting with that exact blowgun. He killed a warthog in Africa with that blowgun. I was like, that's awesome. I forgot about it. I went on a fishing trip with my cousin Will to New Mexico, and one of the guys out there had that blowgun, and he was out there shooting chipmunks with it.
Oh, nice.
I was like, that's awesome. I want to do that. So we all were running around the camp out there with that blowgun, and I killed like 4 chipmunks and a freaking rabbit with that thing. And I was like, that's awesome. I gotta have one. I went and bought one. Guess how much one of those blowguns cost? Legit blowgun.
$200.
$30.
$30? Huh?
$30 for a legit blowgun. So, got in my backyard, started shooting at birds with it just for fun. Man, you get good with that thing, you could probably kill a warthog with it.
Yeah. Huh. Neat.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a small one, probably in middle school or even probably before that. I remember shooting at the wall. I had a poster, but it was a lot smaller than that one.
Did your parents get pissed at you?
Probably after I took down that poster.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of holes in the wall.
Hank's mad at you now because it's his house.
Yeah.
No, man. Any challenging way to do something is a lot of fun. That's why I like fly fishing.
Yeah.
Fly fishing is so much fun. I gotta get you into it. I think Kurt is probably hooked. I gotta get him to do some more of it.
I've done it a couple times. I'm not very accurate or good with it, but
it's addicting.
Yeah.
Man, you really get into it. That's all we do. This year we're going to Banff, Canada. We're going to go to Colorado with my cousin Will. We're going to go ahead and, we're going to try and make a good effort to catch some new fish. It's a lot of fun. Natalie does a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I've gotten her to catch a bonefish on one, which is in Belize. It's not that hard to catch a bonefish. But it's still an accomplishment to catch a fish with one.
Put up a good fight.
Yeah. Which I think that needs to be our next vacation.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Belize.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
No.
It's awesome.
No. We're going on a cruise to Cancun, Progreso, spring break, but never Belize.
Dude, Belize is the best place to go. Belize is one of those, I guess people describe it as Costa Rica 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's not totally saturated with white people.
Yeah.
And
tourism.
You go fly fishing in Belize and, man, you're in the middle of just the most beautiful thing God has ever created.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
We need to make it happen. I definitely want to take you and Hank and your dad out there.
Yeah.
Because my dad's gone with my little brother, and they loved it.
Yeah.
It's a different place. Most people don't go.
Yeah. No, I like water, and I like different places. That would be fun.
You think Taylor would go?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely need to get her to go, too. Natalie loves it.
Yeah. It's nice just to get away, too.
Natalie won't let me travel down south right now, though, because of the Zika virus.
Yeah.
Which I keep telling her. I keep trying to convince her it's a myth. I'm like, no, that's a myth. Don't worry about it. Definitely not a myth, but...
Yeah. Just wear some off.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Glad you came up to see the house.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I guess. How long have you been here? 2 months? 3 months?
Since November.
Okay, a little longer than that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I guess I came the wrong way, but...
Did
maybe.
you?
I don't know. You said I came in through the back, so...
No, I mean, back in the neighborhood. That's how I come.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why the GPS sent me.
Yeah.
So...
Your GPS was right. That's a fast way to go. If the gate's open.
Yeah. It's been good.
Well, cool, man. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get Hank on next.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll do it.
But, yeah, I'll try and get it.
He'll have some good stories.
Oh, yeah. I want to get both of y'all on so we can tell some stories from our childhood.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them.
Might be some fighting involved, but...
Yes. Who is at fault for what?
Still don't know.
Yeah, I know. Well, thanks, bud.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to end it here.